Take it personal. Why? Because the devil is a lie. Hey, I'm telling you to do. Hey, get my Cheryl Dorsey bop. What you do? Hey, some things you got to do. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. Join the Patreon, dog. Barbershop conversations on Patreon. Stop asking and join, man. Let's go, man. We're going to jump into this, man. And so you guys know it's fight week. We actually have an extended fight week this week because there's no really American meaningful fights this week here in America. So Errol Spence and Danny Garcia gets a lot of attention. And like y'all, we are fucking alcohol. We're derelicts, man. We're addicted to this fight shit. So you know what we do? We go through old fight tape and we like to break shit down and we like to understand fighters as best we can. I'm a bettor. I'm a gambler. I bet on fights. So I too watch all the old fights and shit, and I use comparative analysis, triangle theories. What if this happens? What if that happens? Well, I know we've been real slanted on this channel, but now it's fight week, man. There are people in the barbershop that's rooting for Danny Garcia, and they really don't have no voice in the barbershop. And I know they out there, man. And I just want to say you guys are welcome to come into the barbershop this week and talk your shit and swallow spit, man. And that's why we're a community, man. Even if we disagree, there is space. We leave space for the alternative argument, man, for the other side of the coin, man. You know what I mean? The Eagles are coming to Dallas right now. You know what I mean? And we just gonna have a good time doing it. So what I did was I'm watching Danny Garcia's fight, and I think the Amir Khan is a great and excellent illustration of Danny Garcia as a fighter, and about how his ability to compute and calculate distance and knowing who he truly is as a fighter. So here we go, man. I have let's share this screen. I have the Danny Garcia versus Amir Khan fight, right? And this is round one. Okay, let me enlarge this for y'all so y'all can see it. This is, oh, I can enlarge it on this end, and we're gonna have some fun with this, man. We're gonna enlarge it. So here we go, man. This is round one, right? And I have it time stamped. So we're gonna go through this really quick together as a community. And we're going to break this shit down. But I want you guys to understand the greatness in Danny Garcia. This is round one against Amir Khan. And if you guys know how that fight ended. But I want to show you how Danny Garcia set it up. Here we go. This is round one. And obviously Amir Khan is the most physically gifted, talented fighter with the hand speed. But Danny Garcia is an intelligent fighter. And he never, ever got off his game plan. Watch this out. Watch this.
And make it flow.
You see that? I'll rewind it again so you guys can see it. I'll do a lead into it. Watch this. How Danny Garcia is timing isn't ready yet. It's still in the oven. His timing is still in the oven. But check this out.
You don't get the knockout by focusing on the knockout.
Amir Khan, 1, 2, 3 out, 1, 2 out, 1, 2 out, 2 to the body. Danny over the top, he misses, right? Timing is not there, right? The game speed is too fast for Danny Garcia right now. If this was Madden, Danny's on the rookie, and Amir Khan is on all Madden. Here we go. We're gonna lead into the wide miss.
Even if you're superior.
There we go. Watch
Khan must box and make it flow.
Boom, you see it? Those body shots that Danny landed is what Amir Khan gave up to reset himself. You understand what I'm saying? But if you look at it, Amir Khan sees everything coming, right? Now we're going to fast forward to 26:44. This is round one. Now we're going to fast forward to round two, okay? Here we go. Round two, 26:44, round two. Jab. Amir Khan is still too fast, still too explosive for him. But look at the distance. Danny Garcia is closed in the distance just a little bit, if you can tell, from round one to round two. Danny Garcia is in distance, but he can't pull the trigger because he's in anticipation of an Amir Khan lead jab. Watch this. Now watch this.
Lead left hook by Khan.
You see, wide right, wide right, wide right. You understand what I'm saying? So Danny is still not there, but he's closer. He's close. So now we're going to fast forward to the end of round 2. Watch what happens at the end of round 2. 20. No, let's go to this one first. 26-44. Let's go to this one first. 26-44. All right, here we go. I'm going to do a slight lead into it. Watch this. Watch Danny Garcia miss, but watch the mesh point is getting a little bit closer.
On his feet, stop giving the opponent the opportunity to knock him off balance. Stay flat-footed, stay body. Steady, and stick his punches.
And see the wide miss? Danny's not there yet. The distance isn't there yet. But this video is going to tell you what Danny is exceptionally great at. 28-43. All right, let's do a lead in. And this is the end of round 2. This is the end of round 2.
Punch. I did not see a butt. But sometimes butts are hard to see.
Wide right miss. You see that? Wide, just missing everything. Watch. Missing everything. And he's so frustrated and it looks amateurish for the first 2 rounds. And listen to the commentary of Max Kellerman. In between rounds, listen.
So significant blood around the right eye of Danny Garcia. We'll get a better look as we go to the corner.
Listen, Danny, you got to be more crispy, man. You got to be more. Don't open it, dog. Don't open it.
I'm not opening it.
Yeah, don't open it.
I'm not opening it.
Just why? Just you work with it, Danny. Listen, you're being too wide, Dan.
You're being too wide. He's missing everything. He's missing his paycheck shots. You understand? He's too wide. He's too amateurish. But Danny Garcia is thinking to his head, I just got 2 steps closer. I just got 2 inches closer. I'm still going to do what I got to do, but I'm 2 inches closer. No matter what his dad is saying, because Danny Garcia has proven this to be true over his career. Okay, yes, he's flat-footed. He's not the most agile fighter. But what you're not going to do is get Danny Garcia off at his train track. And this fight is so leaning towards the other side. Max Kellerman comes in and was like, man, because they gave fist pumps at the end of round 2 that Danny Garcia has given up just a little bit. But Danny Garcia hasn't given up. His mind is still in this fight, no matter what his body language tells. And you're going to see it in round 3.
Listen to me. Come on, breathe, Danny. Le está dando, pero no está tirando puño, Danny. Está dando que he's picking you apart. You can't do that.
He's picking you apart. What does that mean? There's levels to this shit. Danny Garcia is still calm, cool in the corner. He hasn't really shown no facial expressions that makes you believe that he's deterred. No matter how anxious his dad is in the corner, and that's his dad's job. But let's keep going.
Yeah, Dad. You got to step around, man, and let your hands go a little bit. Left uppercut, listen to your left when he's leaning in with the right. He's leaning towards your left.
Let your hands go. Danny's not letting his hands go because he hasn't adjusted to the speed of Amir Khan yet. Amir Khan, he hasn't adjusted to the speed yet. But let's keep going.
Left uppercut, man. Watch him. Instead of just being out of control, watch him. Okay? Don't frustrate yourself with the blood or nothing. Stay calm, man. Come on, then let's work, man. You heard me? Let's work, man. Stay focused, okay? Stay focused, Dan. And don't be wild.
By CompuBox number.
Danny Angel Garcia is forever anxious, and he sees the difference in skill sets and talents as it relates to Amir Khan. He sees it. And everyone in the fight sees it too. But I want to hope it's coming up soon with Max Kellerman.
Numbers. The first 2 rounds sensational for Khan. That time 30 out of 66. 12-49 for Garcia. Khan landing 23 power shots in the second round. Emmanuel, what's your thought about the location?
Okay, now Max Kellerman, I should have timestamped Max Kellerman. Basically, Max Kellerman was talking about the body language of Amir Khan. But here's the most important, 32-24. We're going to fast forward to 32-24. And we all know what happens at this point. But the reason why this is important was because you guys got to understand, no matter where Danny Garcia is in the fight, he's completely dominated for 2 rounds. But what Amir Khan is gaining is what? Confidence. So when you get confidence, the same thing he did against Canelo Alvarez, right? What did he do? He got comfortable in the pocket. And when Amir Khan, this is round 3, so what does he do? I stayed behind the jab for 2 rounds. I threw my right. I slipped his overhand hook, and So now I got more confidence. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 3 pieces together. And this is the round Amir Khan started throwing 3 pieces in the pocket. And he got a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more relaxed because he saw that Danny Garcia didn't have the speed to keep up with him, the velocity, the the fast twitch muscle fibers. But watch what happens when he gets comfortable one time in the pocket. Same thing with Canelo. Get comfortable one time in the pocket, and this is what could possibly happen. Watch this.
Under the pressure that Amir Khan is putting him under.
You see it? But I don't know if you guys saw it. Did you see the tempo in Amir Khan before that? Did you see the double jab going downhill? That shows confidence by a fighter. I think I need to rewind it so you guys can see it. You guys need to see it. Let's go 32-20, 32-18. Yeah, that's what we do, man. We break down fights, man. I'm giving you guys what I do fight week, man. You know what I mean? And I try and decode as much as I can. You know what I mean? 32. All right, here we go. Now watch Amir Khan's body language. Watch Amir Khan's body language coming downhill.
Under the pressure that Amir Khan is putting him under.
Watch it. Watch his body language from this point forward. He went from a double jab on his lead dominant foot to a 3-punch combination. And Danny Garcia knew that he was going to set his feet after the double jab. But how he did it, here's what Danny Garcia, how he said it. Danny Garcia stopped and gave Amir Khan a false sense of confidence to bring him in. And he counted off of his 3rd shot in 3-punch combination. Because you see Amir Khan throwing the left hook. Watch this. He's going downhill with the double jab. Watch. See, he's confident. Now Danny's going to set his feet. This is a trap by Danny Garcia. This is a complete trap. Because if he goes back, he knows. I'll just stay here because this is what actually happens. Because he knows he got the information from the first 2 rounds. That double jab is leading him to set his feet and get off his work. Danny Garcia knows this. He wasn't calculated. He was just coming downhill with a 3-punch combination. And you're going to see Amir Khan get ready to load that 3-punch combination. He wasn't anticipating no defense. He wasn't doing nothing. He did. Remember in the first round, did you guys see it? Go back in the video. He slipped the overhand hook and right hand because he was throwing 2 punches at a time. And he knew he had to be defensive responsibility. But he didn't this time because he's confident. He thinks he's overwhelming Danny Garcia. While all that may be true, Danny Garcia still believes he has a puncher's chance if he can get you to commit to your offense and get to that mesh point. And Amir Khan got to the mesh point. Now, here we go. This is what happens. Now, watch as he's throwing that left hook. Watch Danny Garcia land that overhand. Boom. Boom. Just like that, the fight's over. Basically, it goes into the 4th round, which was a great 4th round. But just like that, Danny Garcia changed the complexion of the fight. Lack of defensive responsibility, confidence. You get overwhelmed. You start to believe in yourself. Meanwhile, Danny Garcia says, I got one chance to win this fight. And that's to get closer and closer. And when you get the most comfortable, that's when I'm most powerful. And that's Danny Garcia in a nutshell. Now we're going to play it all the way through so you guys can see it in real time. All right, 32-17. All right, here we go.
Under the pressure that Amir Khan is putting him under. Down goes Khan.
Fight's over. Fight's basically over, man. And that's the reality of this. And if Errol Spence, when Errol Spence starts to open up, he has to be cognizant of that. He has to be cognizant of that when he's digging to the body, cognizant of that. And these are real jewels. Danny Garcia has impeccable timing and he will hold his ground. Danny Garcia is the kind of fighter, if you guys ever sparred, he has a button on him. The only way he can throw a punch is if you hit this button. You get what I'm saying? So when you're fighting Danny Garcia, you got to know the only way he's going to throw a punch is if you touch this button. That's the only way. If you stand there, he's gonna look at you. 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 So when you push this button, you push this button, you push this button, you push this button anywhere on his body. His whole body is a button. You push the button, he's coming back. And that's what Errol Spence got to know. Okay? Everything is based off of Errol Spence. And Errol Spence also got to understand, when Danny Garcia sets his feet off of your lead, when he's not moving off of your lead, because, you know, fighters like to dance and reset, you know what I mean? Kind of like a great example of that is Sean Porter versus the Cuban, when he was dancing around the ring and he reset off of every interaction. Ugas, you see what I'm saying? And but be cognizant of that. And I think if Errol Spence stays with the 1-2, stays disciplined, stays on his toes, it's gonna be an easy night. Where the gray area is Errol Spence defensive responsibility off of his combination punching. When he's digging to the body, I don't care how hard Errol Spence digs to the body, Danny is coming up top with something wide and strong. And it doesn't matter if Errol Spence is digging to the right with the body from the right side, boom, right? Danny's coming over the top regardless, okay? And against Ocampo, Errol he had no regard for Campo, so he kind of took those punches. Campo landed something over the top when Errol was digging to the body, so there's a chance there. You get what I'm saying? So that's the reality of this. No matter, when Errol goes low, Danny Garcia goes Michelle Obama high, okay? And that's the fight in a nutshell. Danny Garcia will not be able to compete if Errol Spence double jabs and single jabs him the whole night. The only way this fight gets compelling is when Errol Spence starts to feel confident in that mesh point, right? In that middle distance, all right? In that inside game. If Errol Spence stays out of that middle distance and wants to fight behind the jab, Errol Spence wins this fight easy, okay? And that's what I have it, man. Hopefully this video makes sense for y'all, and we're gonna have fun, man. We're gonna have fun. We get an extra 4 days to build up this fight, man. Make sure you guys go buy the pay-per-view, go buy Errol Spence merchandise, man. And Danny Garcia ain't no slouch, man. Danny Garcia ain't no slouch. All right. And he's not 36-2 by accident. Okay. He's only lost at 147 against the big dogs, and he knows this. All right. There's no need to remind him, but he knows this. So anyways, man, Barbershop Conversations, man, feel free, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to join my Patreon, Barbershop Conversations on Patreon. I promise y'all 4 videos a month, and it will guarantee you, give you some principles on making money. So anyways, man, Barbershop Conversations, man, feel free, hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.